Every minute, someone in India dreams or speaks of moving to the city. Bangalore, the city of code, caffeine, and constant motion. It's where 20-somethings arrive with a few suitcases and infinite optimism. A place where your first job feels like the start of something huge. Until you realize that everyone here is chasing the same dream. Under the glow of pitch nights and coffee-fueled all-nighters lies another Bangalore. One that's running out of space, water, and patience. Today, we go inside the Bangalore tech bubble, what nobody talks about. Before it was India's tech capital, Bangalore was an engineering town, built on aerospace and public sector grit. Then came liberalization in the 90s, the internet, outsourcing. The city had the talent, the weather, the universities, and suddenly the world wanted in. By the 2000s, glass towers replaced gardens. By 2010, it was India's startup lab. By 2020, the dream was global. Build here, conquer everywhere. Unicorns were minted faster than perhaps anywhere else in the world. Bangalore had become both the stage and the story of India's digital rise. For young engineers, Bangalore is still the golden ticket. You might walk into a cafe and bump into a CTO, a VC, and a college friend, all in one coffee line. The city breeds audacity. Everyone believes they're one pivot away from a breakout. AI, cloud, fintech, it's all happening. And it's all happening here. The energy is intoxicating. A 23-year-old with a MacBook can raise funding faster than their parents bought their first car. Here, ambition feels contagious, and you breathe it in with the city's smog. Every conversation sounds like a pitch. Every friendship doubles as networking. People talk about seed rounds more than salaries, and runway replaces savings. Weekdays blur into weekends because building something is the new nightlife. Even the city's chaos, the honking, the deadlines, the noise, feels like proof that you're part of something big. But behind that adrenaline rush, there's quiet fatigue. Most techies rent cramped flats, live off Swiggy and Zomato, and silently wonder if the grind will ever lead to peace. They scroll through property listings they'll never be able to afford, joke about burnout like it's part of the job description, and tell themselves that it's temporary, just until the next promotion, the next funding round, the next big break. It's easy to believe that this city is unstoppable, but belief can be addictive. And sometimes, the dopamine of ambition hides the exhaustion underneath. Between 2021 and 2023, startup funding in Karnataka dropped by over 70%. 0 new unicorns in 2023, from 18 just 2 years earlier. The easy money vanished. Layoffs followed. The LinkedIn optimism started to sound rehearsed. At the same time, the city kept swelling. Now, around 14 million people and counting. Roads that were meant for half that number choke daily. What should be a 20-minute commute takes 90 on a good day. Ask any young techie about buying a house here, and they laugh. Most know they'll probably never afford one. Median apartment prices are now in several crores, for salaries that barely keep up with rent and Uber surge pricing. You live with roommates, you save nothing, and you work 10 hours a day, mostly stuck in traffic or on Teams. And yet, every weekend, the city refills with new arrivals, because hope still beats exhaustion. But under that hope is fear of layoffs, of obsolescence, of being one funding winter away from unemployment. And still, the promise of tech job security feels like a myth that nobody wants to stop believing. Behind every startup that succeeds are hundreds that quietly die. Founders ghost investors, employees vanish overnight, and unpaid vendors chase emails that will never arrive. For every coder living the dream, there's a family priced out of their own neighborhood. Bangalore's boom has created an invisible class divide. Tech wealth on one side, survival hustle on the other. Even locals sometimes feel like outsiders in their own city. Job reservations, language debates, rising rents all point to the same tension. Who really belongs in the new Bangalore? Because the city's prosperity isn't evenly shared. It's a bubble of privilege floating over a gridlocked, overstretched reality. Every bubble begins with a beautiful story. And Bangalore's story of innovation, ambition, and progress is still beautiful. But a story that ignores its cracks eventually collapses under its own hype. Startups chase valuation over value. Talent chases salaries over learning. Everyone's sprinting. No one is resting. When expectations grow faster than infrastructure and optimism outpaces oxygen, you know you're in a bubble. And the truth is, everyone feels it. No one says it. But not all bubbles burst. Some evolve. Karnataka's Beyond Bangalore initiative is already shifting growth to Mysuru, Hubballi, Belagavi, smaller cities with space to breathe. A new generation of founders is chasing sustainability, not vanity. Deep tech, climate tech, social impact startups that want to fix what the last wave ignored. Maybe the next chapter won't be about unicorns, but about endurance. Because Bangalore's story was never about just technology. It's about people who refuse to give up on possibility. The bubble isn't evil. It's a mirror, showing us what happens when dreams outgrow direction. If the city can learn to pause, to plan, to include, it might just write a future that outlives the hype. Thank you for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please give it a like, share it with a friend, and hit subscribe so you don't miss the next one. And until the next time we meet, stay curious, stay unaligned.